And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Box Office Shuffle. It's a podcast where the three of us on screen right now, or that are on microphones if you're listening on audio, take our physical media collections, put them in a shuffler, and then every other week we have a movie to talk about. I'm one of your hosts, Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Warburg. Alongside me, as always, is Chris, a.k.a. Gamma Caruchador.
Yo, I'm the one that should be sworn to.
And Joe, a.k.a. Joe.
Hi!
This week, the Shuffler gave us one from Chris's collection. We're watching Batman Begins from 2005, specifically released, at least in America, on June 15th, 2005. Of course, directed by the rather famous Christopher Nolan. We watched it initially off a full-screen DVD, and we realized, wait a minute, this is not the best way to watch this movie. So we then transitioned to Joey's DVD rip of the widescreen version, which was a significantly better viewing experience on Discord. Also, maybe spurs Chris to update his collection to get the 4K box set like I have, which is very cool.
Maybe.
It looks fantastic, and it has the Blu-rays, so you're still good if you want to pop them in a console.
Since I don't have any 4K players, I would get it for the Blu-rays. But I do like. Is it a metal casing?
This one's not, but you can. I think they do make. There are steelbooks of it.
Okay.
I think you have to buy those individually though.
I like steelbooks.
So, cast, of course, Christian Bale as Batman, first of his 3 times playing that character. Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, Cillian Murphy, Tom Wilkinson, Rutger Hauer, he plays one of the board members, Morgan Freeman, Ken Watanabe, and last but certainly not least, Mr. Gary Oldman as Commissioner Jim Gordon. The budget of the film was roughly $150 million, obviously then not accounting for marketing and such. The box office was $375 million, which actually I think was only the 9th highest box office in the box office that year. But it had a staggering number, not leading on home media sales, but this is of the era where home media sales were actually a viable source of income and you could actually greenlight a sequel off them. Anybody got to guess what the number was on Lifetime so far of just the DVD sales? Obviously, that probably capped out around like 2010, 2012 when they started the media market transition to full Blu-ray. And then obviously streaming.
6 million?
Chris, what you
What's
got?
the budget for the movie?
150.
I want to say 250.
It's in between. It's 167.
Dang, that's still a lot.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And the only number I could find for the U.S. Blu-ray only runs from 2009 to 2012. That was 11 million. Obviously, with the 4K re-release and such, that number's most likely much higher. But compared to the DVD initial market, that's a drop in the bucket. But that explains why it so immediately got a sequel in 2008 with one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, if not the greatest, in The Dark Knight. So, Chris, it's your movie, so I will turn the plot over to you. Of course, if you are somehow watching this podcast without ever having seen Batman Begins, what are you doing here? Go watch the movie, and then come back, because YouTube will save where you were in this, and we'll see you then. So, Chris, take it away.
Yeah, so spoiler alert. Again, go watch it if you haven't before and you've been living under a rock. All right. So, of course, this is a rehashing of the Batman story. It's set, Christopher Nolan wanted it set more in a grounded, realistic world than the more fantastical DC universe we've seen in the comics and future films like Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. So everything is more based in reality in these films. Ra's al Ghul, spoiler, that's the villain, doesn't have a Lazarus pit. That's not a thing. He's just a dude. But going into the movie, it starts by following a flashback of Bruce Wayne as a child, where he falls into a hole on the mansion grounds and his parents' estate, where he injures himself, and this is where he gets his fear of bats from, because he frightens a bunch of bats that fly around him. I totally get it. That would creep me out too. Swiftly, we move into the present, actually, where Bruce is in prison. Not in America. I believe it's like Cambodia or something. It's some Eastern European country.
Eastern Asia.
Or Eastern Asia country.
Wrong mountain range.
Yeah. Wrong mountain range. Yes. But after a yard fight, he's approached by a man in prison who introduced himself as, I think, Henri Ducard.
Probably.
Henry, so mainly known as Ducard for now, who offers him a better way of fighting injustice, because that's kind of why he's in prison. We'll get to that in a little bit. But following Ducard's advice, after he is let out of the prison, he has to go take a blue flower that he finds in the mountain range there and take it up to the top of a mountain where there's like a large pagoda housing structure, almost like a big compound. Kind of think Camartage from the second Doctor Strange movie. But after after he's starting to make his way up there and such, we flash back to the real reasons why Bruce left Gotham. After his parents were murdered at a young age, the guy who killed them was put in prison, but now Bruce is coming back from whatever college or university he was in, and he's going to attend a trial where the guy who killed his parents is being released on a plea deal for offering information on Falcone, who is Gotham's current crime boss overlord, essentially. Bruce has intentions to kill this guy, but he is beat to the punch by one of Falcone's people, who kills Chill, I think his name is.
Joe Chill.
The bad guy. Yeah, Joe Chill. Kills him like steps in front of Bruce Wayne, and Bruce's love interest / friend from the past, Rachel, is there and tries to drag him away, but he says he wants to stand there and watch. After which, Rachel's driving him around and kind of letting him know on how bad it's gotten in Gotham. So how she herself is now working with the DA's office and trying to fight the darkness that's plaguing the city. Bruce upsets her by letting her know that he was planning to kill Joe Chill. And after she slaps him twice, those were some pretty good slaps. I bet you they were real. She kicks him out in front of where Falcone like kind of hangs out. Bruce has a conversation with Falcone and then decides to essentially throw away anything that could tie him to being himself, and he leaves Gotham. So he goes and he leaves Gotham and learns to like fight. He kind of follows crime organizations that are stealing Wayne Enterprises stuff almost, and he gets caught falsely as being part of that, but he was really trying to stop it, I guess. They don't really go into that too much, but I think it's that's more what of I'm getting from
he's
that.
Not a criminal because he's basically taking his own stuff.
Right, yeah. So but yeah, after he reaches the pagoda place, he trains with Ducard, and after a little bit of a training montage and some more flashbacks here and there looking into Gotham, he finally has to face his final test, which is breathing in a smoke vapor that was made by this blue flower that he had to pick on his journey up to the mountaintop in the first place. And it gives him like fearful hallucinations, where he then has to deal with that while also being hunted by Ducard in a group of other ninjas. He passes that, and then finally they say, in order to prove your allegiance, you gotta finish this. And they bring out a guy that the League of Shadows, which is what they are calling themselves, deemed to be,
They said he was a murderer.
Yeah, he was a murderer, but they're trying to dole out their own version of punishment, which is kill this guy. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Bruce says that he won't do it because he wants to be above the people that he's trying to take down. It's almost like he doesn't want to be on their level kind of thing. But in so doing, he sets the entire pagoda mansion compound ablaze, saves Ducard, and then leaves, going back to Gotham. It has been years since Bruce has left, was pronounced dead, comes back, shocking the city and especially his board members at Wayne Enterprises, who have been looking to sell off Wayne Enterprises as a public company. He does get in touch with Lucius Fox, however, the man who will go on to supply many of the gadgets for Batman, and begins working to become a symbol that can rise above the injustice of the city. Falcone has become rampant in the years that Bruce has been gone. But after Batman makes his first big appearance, intercepting a drug shipment Falcone is overseeing, he's locked up in prison, and to get a meeting with one of the people that he works with, Falcone cuts his wrists and tries for an insanity plea with Dr. Crane, one of somebody who's been working with an unnamed overseer, but also with Falcone. And this unnamed overseer, just at the mention of them coming to Gotham, Falcone, this big crime boss, becomes on edge. At this point, Falcone does some things to ruffle Crane's feathers. Crane, who we now are realizing is Scarecrow, unleashes a fear toxin in the room and essentially moves Falcone to Arkham Asylum under a court order, essentially. Rachel, who of course works in the DA, and especially when it comes to cases against Falcone, gets news about the movement of Falcone to Arkham while on Bruce's doorstep and heads off to speak with Crane about the movement, and Batman follows. Luckily, the timing was right, so Bruce knew to do that. This is where Rachel and Batman learn about the dumping of the drugs that have been coming in, the thing that Batman stopped the final shipment of, essentially. This is where they learn that they're dumping them into Gotham's water supply, but there is the cost of Rachel being gassed herself. Batman has to save her and gives Crane a taste of his own medicine while in the process. Then rushes Rachel back to the Batcave, administers an antitoxin that's been whipped up because of a previous incident that Batman had with Crane. Alfred then rushes Rachel back home while Bruce attends his own birthday party. At this place, he's introduced to a man named Ra's al Ghul, but it's not the same man that we saw earlier who claimed to be Ra's al Ghul. However,
that ain't Ken Watanabe.
Exactly. However, we essentially learn that the Ra's al Ghul that we see as a forefront is truly just a decoy, Senator Amidala style.
Gotta get the Star Wars connection.
Henry, yeah.
For the Liam Neeson character.
Henri
Fucking a
Ducard.
connection. Holy shit.
Yeah. So Henri Ducard is essentially really Ra's al Ghul. Bruce sends everybody home, feigning a drunken state, and then confronts Ducard in his own mansion, where Ducard beats him in a fist fight, setting fire to his home and leaving Bruce for dead. While that's happening, Blackgate Prison, where all of these murderers and rapists and all this, the bad people, they're all being let out by the League of Shadows at the moment. Prisoners are running rampant in the streets of Gotham now, in the Narrows. Bridges have been raised so that they can't get off that island. Cops are pouring into the area, and Rachel wakes up with 2 vials of antitoxin on her bedside with an order to get them to Gordon, and Gordon alone. Alfred has returned from dropping off Rachel and then rushes in to save Bruce, getting him to the Batcave and helping Bruce prep for the daring night ahead. And Rachel is now in the Narrows, meeting with Gordon, giving him the antitoxin. And in so doing, on her way out, she runs into Ducard, who is setting up a weaponized emitter that was stolen from Wayne Enterprises that instantly vaporize water sources, turning the water of Gotham into the fear toxin bursting from every water main nearby. Panic ensues, of course, because everybody's hallucinating. And Gordon injects himself, gaining the keys to the Batmobile as Batman arrives on the scene with a plan. Batman then goes and saves Rachel and a little boy from the convicts that are running loose. Then confronts Ducard as he and his men are loading the still running weapon onto the train of Gotham that heads straight to Wayne Tower, where the entire city's water system is centralized. Delayed by a fight with the members of the League of Shadow, Batman then grapples up to the train. As it heads off, Gordon crosses... Wait, what?
I still never understand how he doesn't get clipped off the grapple gun. Like, there's clearly undergirders, like, crossing under the train. Like, it's not just open space under the train. And he never
Do you
gets...
want to know... Yeah, there's
it.
an easy explanation. He's Batman.
I get it.
Shut up.
Like, for a world with physics, like, yeah, he's dangling under a train, but, like, there's other stuff under the train that the train is passing.
Have you ever seen how it should have ended? The argument is, I'm Batman.
I know. It's just forever. Like, he was so meticulous about a lot of other things. It's like, why didn't you just have him grapple immediately up there? Why'd you have him dangle and drive right around?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
They cut out the parts where he just kept re-grappling. That's what happened.
I did. When we were watching it last night, I at one point I was watching. I'm like, oh, they're about to come up to a curve, and
he's
Batman's
gonna swing
about to
out,
go
and he's
splat
gonna
on one
die.
of these concrete columns.
He's gonna get cut in half.
Yeah.
Like, no amount of neoprene
Anyway.
Kevlar suit can fucking take that.
Anyway,
then again, in the
grappling
Batman,
onto the
he's
train. Batman is Batmaning on the train with no issue with the laws of physics whatsoever. Okay, everybody?
I get it. It
Gordon
ain't that kind of movie.
Gordon is now crossing the lowered bridges, heading towards the Wayne Tower. As Batman fights Ducard on the train, Gordon begins using the Batmobile to shoot at the support structures of the train system. Having broken the train's ability to stop, Bruce pins Ducard, and as the train screams towards the now crumpled railway ahead, he breaks the back of the train out, leaving Ducard to fall with the vehicle, crashing and exploding both himself and the weapon, saving Gotham. Then, while Batman made big news, Bruce Wayne was noted in the papers as burning down his house, and with plans to rebuild it brick for brick, Alfred suggests making some upgrades to the southeast corner. Batman meets with Gordon as they set up the new bat signal, only to be shown the calling card of a new threat in Gotham.
And then we're left with it. No, we don't need no post tag. It's in the movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Dude,
They just set it up.
It was such a good setup for the next one. I was like, oh.
It really was. And it is a really well plotted Batman story.
Really is.
Yeah.
Especially for an origin one. I feel
It
like.
works really, really well.
Really
We don't get a slow-mo shot of the pearls. Like, we see him fly off, but like it's not some crazy Zack Snyder slow-mo fest.
What somebody doesn't like put a gun between the pearls and then pull the trigger so the hammer can fly back, breaking the pearls off. You don't get any of the pearls, but you definitely took the time to make sure that you're positioned perfectly so that when that happens, oh man, that's crazy.
I was trying to actually look it up, like how much 10% of the Snyder cut of Justice League is just slow-mo.
Jesus Christ.
It's nice to have a director that doesn't use it that much, if at all.
Yeah.
Weird. Almost like being a director is not a cinematographer. Who'd have thought? Anyway, that's not to clown on him too much, because I there's a couple Snyder films I enjoy, but
I mean, there's some good Snyder films, yeah.
But so for me, do we want to go scores first, or do we want to do behind the scenes stuff?
I mean, I have a feeling like we're all high scorers on this.
Yes, and I got to leave some headroom for The Dark Knight.
Right.
So it's not a 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a 4.5. Yeah. 4 or 4.5 for me.
You know what you got?
4.5 for me. Yeah.
It's about the same here. I'll do a 4.5. I think The Dark Knight Rises suffers a little more from the, but wait a minute, in the plot. So that one's like a 4. But that's still like, 4 is your floor? That's fucking good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And-
Jaren made the comment in the Discord that like, or was it you, Joey, that made the comment that this is like one of the best trilogies
I
out
did,
there.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in the running. Yeah, like OG
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Oh,
Lord of
for
the
sure.
Rings, this.
Yeah.
I think the Indiana Jones trilogy is fantastic, though not.
Jaren brought up Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, the new
one.
Planet of the
It's
Apes,
fantastic.
top tier.
That was really fucking good.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and you can make the case Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 are a trilogy, but
And the guy who directed the second two of the Planet of the Apes is doing the new Batman stuff,
which is really
which
good.
also is super good.
Oh god, that first one was fucking great. I was like, I
Loved
need
it.
more than.
I loved it.
It's long, but it's a great long.
Yes, indeed. So speaking of long, the Long Halloween was one of the inspirations for this. It's just one of the most famous Batman stories, if not the most famous, other than possibly Death in the Family, in terms of like pop culture know-how.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's the one with Jason Todd. And
yeah, the fan
Joker.
vote and the crowbar and the whole 9 yards, which was then turned into Batman Under the Red Hood, which was fucking awesome. That movie,
Really good.
damn good.
Really good.
Like, man, if they were able to ever doing like I would love to see them do with the new Batman, like that story. Have him just be, he's just already Batman. We don't need an origin. We don't need no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually bring in the Robin and Nightwing and like do a Bat Family stuff. Because that's dope shit.
And then also the adaptation of that story into Arkham Knight, I thought was really well done.
Mhm.
God, it's so good.
Especially for like, if you didn't know who Jason Todd was.
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
yeah.
huge Bat fan. Bat stuff. Like, know it. Not quite Chris, big fan, but big fan. I saw that coming as soon as like, that's Jason Todd. But if you didn't know, and I know some friends that did not know, that twist absolutely got him. If you didn't know, it's a really well crafted like reveal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So as I was saying, Nolan was first actually inspired by a different Batman story, though. In fact, the opening is largely like framed around The Man Who Falls, which is the story about young Bruce traveling the world to like actually his like global travels as Bruce Wayne before he becomes Batman. And then Year One, obviously, is a really well-grounded, centered equally, I think, on Bruce and Gordon to give this like origin story and like state of Gotham like in the bigger picture, as well as a solid Batman story. And that version of Jim Gordon was used as inspiration for this Jim Gordon, more than a specific Batman really was used as inspiration. But Gordon had a specific story adaptation, inspiration. And then overall, with the structure of the film, Nolan said he was inspired by the 1978 Superman movie, in that he wanted to cast a not unknown but lesser known actor who could embody the role in all its facets, and then have a star-studded cast around it. Because I mean, you got Freeman, Oldman, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson coming off the Star Wars movies, and then some other names that were, I think, bigger named character actors. Like Tom Wilkinson is a rather well-known character actor. I use the term loosely, because I think it can be used a little pejoratively, but he's definitely a face you recognize, right? Kind of guy.
Right.
And that was largely why he cast the movie as he did. Too specific, he wanted to play against type, though. Gary Oldman was actually the kind of studio, we were thinking maybe not studio, but maybe we'll have Gary Oldman be the bad guy, because he's a well-known, lot of villain roles, a lot of bad guy roles. But he decided to play him against type and have him be in the Jim Gordon role. Similarly, he wanted to sell the twist with Ducard and Roz. They don't say Raish like they should. It's another big, lore quibble, but whatever. They were like, well, Neeson's known as the mentor actor. Let's turn him into the villain. Let's play that against type, and both work incredibly well. Gary Oldman's awesome in this franchise. And then, of course, moving on to Christian Bale, he was coming off The Machinist, where he got dangerously thin to the point where the director's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You want to get to 99 pounds and you're 6 fucking foot? No, you stop at 120, please. For literally your life, stop. And then he got this role. It's like, oh, I need to gain some weight, so fuck it, I'm gonna gain 100 pounds. And overshot, had to come back down 30 pounds to get into the high one. I want to say he had to have been pushing what? So yeah, you do 120 plus 7, so it'd be 190-ish By the time this movie rolls around, and you can really tell in that scene where they're training. Like, he's only shirtless a couple times, really, and like you can see, like, yeah, he got like big, for his frame, it's a really fast turnaround. Because I want to say it wasn't even a full year. That's crazy.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was what, 6 months, something like that. Because I know that for the prep of the Tumblr shoots, they had 6 months for prep, but obviously that was probably shot later. But
yeah,
there's a whole bunch there. So, anybody else got anything before I continue?
I just gotta say, like, first of all, I love how we were looking at this after the movie last night, but this was a lot of these actors like first working with Christopher Nolan. Like, Michael Caine has gone on to do a bunch of things. What was it? He did Inception. He was in Interstellar. He was in The Prestige, which is not the magic movie where he's playing the bad guy. Now You See Me with Woody Harrelson.
There you go.
Kingpin
There's
tie-in
our
right
Kingpin
there.
connection.
But like, Christian Bale goes on to play in The Prestige. I don't think Liam Neeson did anything outside of the Dark Knight trilogy with him.
I don't believe so.
Neither did Gary Oldman, but Ken Watanabe, Cillian Murphy's gone on to work with him a bunch. I really like when directors and actors like stay connected and keep working on stuff throughout the years.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. But something that me and Joey were looking at, because we were geeking out over the music just of the DVD
Oh my God,
menu.
yeah.
It's the music in this is so good. Of course, it's done by Hans Zimmer.
It's just a little known musician.
Yeah, just a little guy.
Just a nobody.
A SoundCloud guy,
But I was telling Joey how like cool the names of these tracks are. Like Vespertilo, Molossus. Like, they're weird names. But I was like, what? Why are they named this? So I went and I looked it up. So the names of the songs are Latin names for species of bats, which is so cool.
Fucking cool.
It's really cool. So like, let me see here. I love Vespertilo. That's like the main one that like you hear throughout. Eptesicus, Myotis, Artibius, Macrotus, Antrosus, Coronorhinus. It's like, they're the weirdest names, and they don't make sense until you dig deep. And I love how they made it so, like, diehard fans who want to know why can get something cool out of it, and it just makes me love the soundtrack even more.
I was gonna say,
Such
same
a
here.
good
And it's just
soundtrack.
like cool. It's cool, like hidden. It's a hidden thing that you have to. Do
Yeah,
more
like an
research
Easter
and
egg.
find. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Let's go.
Yeah, really cool.
It's a good add-on.
Yeah, and again, the track, the themes that continue through this trilogy, phenomenal, top tier work. It's awesome. I don't think it's been a while since I've watched The Batman. I don't think that music hits as high, but it is fitting for the movie they're telling.
Yeah,
Because that's Giacchino, I think, right?
No, The Batman. Wait, The Batman? Yes.
Yeah, that was
The
Giacchino.
Batman, and it's way less. It's like, it's very soft music, and then like the big one that keeps playing over and over again. I really like that soundtrack, but you get a lot of Ave Maria.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Batman theme for it is super good. It's like just this really low piano, and then there's a little bit of a build up. It's the one thing that I have a gripe with Giacchino is sometimes I can hear his song and I'm like, I don't know which movie this is from because all of them sound so similar. If you played War for the Planet of the Apes, Batman, Spider-Man Homecoming, or what was it? I can't remember the fourth one, but like there's another one. If you played just a random song from that track, if it wasn't one of the big ones, I would be like, I have no idea which of these films it's from.
Fair enough.
But he's still a great.
Oh yeah,
great
like I love his
musician.
Star Trek score.
Yeah.
His Star Trek score was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and The Incredibles? Yo!
Great. And speaking of,
One
we'll
of the
get to that
best.
in a little bit. I might have something for that. Who
Oh!
knows? Weird.
Yay!
But yeah, speaking of other stuff to talk about, so the Tumblr is without a doubt one of the coolest things in the Nolan adaptation of Batman
Fuck
because it's
Oh, yeah.
actually a street legal car, which is insane. They built
Oh,
four
really?
of them that were about $250,000 to produce, and they're such a radical vehicle. The stunt guys had 6 months to prep and test the vehicle before they actually shot anything in Chicago. Which should tell you that it's like,
Nice.
damn, this thing's a goddamn beast to
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
I think Jay Leno owns one. I
That makes
want to
sense.
say he bought it for like $1
Sounds
million
right.
plus.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now it'd be worth even more. Obviously, that was a decade plus ago he bought the thing, I think, but it'd be worth a lot more now. It is a really fucking cool vehicle. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because it's a really like interesting take on, because Frank Miller's design for like the Batmobile tank thing, from like the 80s, not really a feasible vehicle. It's basically a giant fucking like troop carrier, not really a Batmobile. This is definitely a little more like, yeah, this ain't the Tim Burton Batmobile, people. This thing will absolutely fucking shred cars on the road. You do not want to get in this thing's way.
No.
And it does. It
Yes.
does multiple
Like
times in this movie.
and I'm like, yeah, he just drove over a cop car. They didn't duck in time because they
He
don't know the
drove-
car's gonna do that. They didn't
he
duck
drove
in time.
through a concrete barricade.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like people are dead because of this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Buildings
I
are
won't kill
condemned.
you.
Buildings are condemned because of this car. It's insane.
Like the one roof that he drives on that's like
that
a-
building's
Yeah.
fucked.
like a normal
that
roof. I'm like,
ancient,
that building's fucked.
probably
It's
Dude,
just
historical.
all of
now
those air
condemned for
ducts
life.
that he blew up.
It's probably a historical building in Gotham, and it's just absolutely
Yeah.
fucked. I mean, he'll fix it
There's-
because he's Bruce Wayne, but like
But
people don't know that. They're gonna be like, dude,
Yeah.
you're just destroying shit.
it's just
Which is
demolishing
one of the things that, like,
everything.
in the background does continue to play as these movies and stories progress, which I really enjoy in a more subtle way. Like they do wrestle with like some cops think he is a bad guy, some cops think he's
Yeah.
a good guy. It's not a universal, like he's not Superman and beloved by everybody, right? Another fun note for me, two notes that connect to other things I enjoy. Smallville actually used that establishing shot of the Narrows over the river. They stole that for like a couple different scenes in like season 8, I want to say. And then John Nolan, who is Chris Nolan and Jonathan Nolan's uncle,
Okay.
was a member of the Wayne board, and he plays one of my all-time favorite television villains. He's on Person of Interest as John Greer, one of the most diabolical and like fascinating villains in my like TV love like lore. He's awesome.
He's
Great
the
in
guy
that show.
who at the party goes up to Bruce and says, like, the apple's fallen very far from the tree. Or
Yes,
something
and he's
like
also
that.
the guy who's like, yeah,
okay.
we shouldn't, like, why are we making weapons? Thomas Wayne
Right,
would
yeah,
not approve. And he shows up
Mhm.
again in Dark Knight Rises. Because I want to
Nice.
say that was roughly around the time Person of Interest. No, that was 15 that wrapped up. That might have been right before Person of Interest when he got a recurring regular role on that show. Which, if you haven't seen, go see it. Because I want to say Jonathan Nolan is a producer. That's his show. He show ran that.
Oh.
Which is again why he cast his own uncle. But like, damn good in the role. Damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else I have. What else did I have? I think that's about it for my notes. Anybody else got anything? We're at right around 30
not-
minutes.
I say if it's not your guys' collection, for
Yeah,
people
buy it.
listening,
Get it.
go buy it.
Throw it in
It's
there.
Such a good. Just get the trilogy because it's just a good ass trilogy, guys.
It is. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Real. It's good. It's great cinema,
I kind of want to go watch The Dark Knight right now.
dude. Same.
But you know what I'm gonna watch? One of these 9 movies I bought since our last show.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Let's go.
obviously we are a physical media podcast where we love consuming and interacting with our physical media, so that way we don't just throw our money on shit that sits on a wall. And me and Joey went to see F1. So Joey,
Oh my.
you haven't done a lot of
God,
talking in
that-
this one, so I'll let you talk about F1.
F1 is such a good race movie. It is probably a 5 out of 5 for me and probably won't be outbeaten. But the movie itself is... Everyone just go fucking watch it. It's so intense. Tom put it really well. Like, he was sweating the whole time, and I didn't realize I was sweating the whole time. But yeah, it's It's intense. It's crazy because like I did a lot of race simulator way back in the day, and like the tracks they're on, like I've done those tracks, I've raced those tracks. I know why they've adjusted the tracks in the future, making them a little more safer and everything. And everything about this movie F1 is so fucking good. Whenever it comes out to DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, I'm buying it immediately.
It'd be 4K at this point. Don't buy the DVD if they even make.
If it comes out on VHS, Tom, I'm buying it on VHS. I don't care.
Okay. I guess I'll be
If
a
it's on
little bit.
Betamax, I'll
He's gonna get the
that.
film spool.
Yeah, he's gonna buy the master. He's gonna break into Apple and go get the master.
No. The worst part is the master's probably on a thumb drive or something.
Oh,
Well, it's probably
yeah.
on a hard drive, but
I mean, it's a
yeah.
$300 million movie, and you can tell.
God, it's so good. They actually have F1 racers in there. They don't have any acting
Well,
parts. But they're on the podium,
Lewis
stuff
Hamilton's
like
the
that. Lewis
producer.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's the producer on that?
Yeah, he was a producer.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Oh, my God. That makes sense why it's really fucking good for F1. It's also quite entertaining.
Well, yeah,
It's-
and I think it's FIA is their governing body.
Yeah.
They're all over it. The branding's all over it. Like, it's
Yeah.
what I was reading an IGN review. They were like, what Top Gun was for the Navy, this is for the F1. Like, the actual entity
that's a
of
really
F1.
good... Yeah. Because it's also the director from
Top Gun
Mavericks on
Maverick,
this. Yeah, from Top Gun Maverick. And you could tell because it's just... beautiful shot.
And
It's
what did
gorgeous.
Fusion say? He posted something that this guy's doing next.
He's doing a Miami Vice reboot.
That's what it was. Yeah.
He also did Tron Legacy. He did Oblivion with Tom Cruise in 13, which I saw. And he's done
That
a
was a great movie.
number of other projects as well. Personally, I'm like, dude, you think you could make a Gears of War movie or a Halo movie?
Oh, yeah.
Because
He made those commercials back in the day.
Those
Like-
Oh, really?
He got that
Okay.
hype
Good.
going, man. If he could translate
God.
that with what he's done in his last two films, that
Please,
shit would light the
go
world
through.
on fire. Like,
Yeah.
you go give me
God.
an amazing, like, Contact Harvest story.
Oh,
Don't give me Spartans. Give me Sergeant Johnson just versus the Covenant and, like, trying to not die.
yeah. Oh, that goes so hard.
Because you know those Warthog scenes
God.
would be fucking dope. That'd be awesome. Anyway,
Dude, give me an Emergence
I
Day
wish I
story
had them.
from him.
or that kind of story, right? Like, give you an E-Day story, man. Dude, he'd do something incredible with those franchises. And a number of other video games, too. I think he'd, like...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of cool stuff that he could do in that world because man, two bangers back to back between Top Gun Maverick and this.
100%.
Absolutely go see it if you have it in an IMAX near you by the time this is out and Superman hasn't come out yet. Go see it there because that's the best way to watch this movie.
It is.
It's fucking
So
pulse
enjoyable.
pounding is the only word I got because I was literally like my shirt was wet under like here. I was like because you're just like gripping the whole time.
Yeah.
It is
and I'm
crazy.
just like, I'm wide-eyed on the edge of my seat. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, like, and the theater was dead quiet. Yet everyone walking out
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, that was fucking
Right?
incredible."
Yeah.
Like everyone was just stunned at how fucking great it was. It wasn't like I remember the pop after Joey. Was that Fast 5 we saw in Algona, and the theater like erupted when Jason Statham showed up.
Yeah.
Right? Like it wasn't that kind of pop, but it was like you could just tell the crowd was like, "What a fucking movie, dude!" Like,
Right?
damn.
Everyone's just like, woo!
Absolutely great, and I might go see it a second time. So good.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But while we're in Des Moines, me and Joey like going to we've mentioned it on a different show. It's called JCD and Hobby. They're a kind of a nerd hobby shop, and they have an excellent like consignment like policy. Like they don't take junk for discs, but you can still sell them your discs. But like if it's like scratched up to all hell, they're not going to take it. So if you go there, you're getting something that's going to work generally. And they also have a pretty generous return policy. It's like 7 days. So, and I'm not going to get through 9 movies in 7 days, but I'm pretty confident they're going to be good. So I bought 9 movies. I bought the Blu-ray of How to Train Your Dragon, which is I felt like, hey, the live action one is out, quote unquote. So
Yeah.
then we got the Incredibles. Again, there's the Michael Giacchino bring down the original Predator on Blu-ray. Arrival from
That's such
Denis
a good movie.
Villeneuve, who's going to do Bond, which is insane. Holy shit, this guy's doing
Oh,
Bond.
That's pretty good.
Shit.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm in. I had Transformers: Dark of the Moon. It actually, the digital copy worked. That nobody redeemed it.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah. So I got that. V for Vendetta. The first Top Gun, which I didn't own before. I upgraded my Kung Fu Panda DVD onto Blu-ray, and then at Goodwill the other day I found a really like clean copy of Riddick, which I don't own any of those movies, so I'll be on the lookout for the other two, Chronicles of and Pitch Black. I'll be looking out for those because that's a good Claudia Black movie.
It is.
Forgot she's in that.
I've got.
And Joey picked up some stuff as well.
I did. Got 4 movies and 4 video games. But first, we're gonna start with season 1, Reacher. It's actually a really solid TV series.
Quite enjoy it. Give us a Wolfenstein show,
dude.
You guys want to know something crazy?
What's up?
My brother almost had an audition to be the guy that worked right next to Reacher on the next season.
Nice.
Oh my god!
But he probably wouldn't have done it because he would have had to leave.
I was gonna say he's having a kid.
The
Isn't he?
day, yeah, he would have had to leave while my sister-in-law was in the hospital having a kid.
Oh god!
Yeah, that's a tough ask.
Yeah, that's a hard ask.
He might have done it because it would be like, this is gonna get us set for a little while. We're good.
That's a good paycheck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super crazy. I was like, that would have been so cool.
That would have been
We have Swiss Army Man, which is such a good fucking
weird
movie.
Daniel Radcliffe and like, I got Harry Potter money. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a dead farting corpse.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh. And Tom spotted
Guns
these
Akimbo.
next 2. Guns Akimbo. I haven't seen it. I need to see it.
So weird.
I really enjoyed this movie. It was called The Black Phone.
Oh, great film. It's a really solid, like, you'd swear Stephen King wrote this story. But he didn't.
100%.
It's just like, somebody's like, hey, I want to make a Stephen King type, like, not pure full-on scary horror or full-on existential horror, but like horror in the margins and also a thriller, like a horror thriller, like with a serial killer. And then like some metaphysical horror on the outside, like stuff. Really cool.
I remember asking Tom when we were leaving Mace after getting watching. I was like, "Is this Stephen King?" You told me no. I was like, "What the?"
I'm pretty sure he didn't, but like, it's very, and it's even period based. It's like based in the early '80s, I think. Like very much in that pocket, and I loved it. Ethan Hawke killed it in that movie.
And then
I love Ethan Hawke.
We have one movie I've only seen once, and I don't remember bits and pieces of it. It's fucking hilarious. 7 Psychopaths.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to see. Is that the one with Sam Rockwell?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the one where
I
was telling Joey, it's the scene where Christopher Walken's being held at shotgun, and he's like, "Put your gun." And I'm like, "No, I have a shotgun. I don't care." Like, it's incredible. It's an iconic Christopher Walken scene, and we've watched it before. I cannot, for the fucking life of me, we've done this on Discord. I must have rented it because I can't find it. I swear to God, I was like, I'm not going to spend $6 on this because I think I might own it. Because I know we've done a movie night of it.
Yeah.
Fuck
I remember
me, I
watching
can't
it. The
remember.
Christopher Nolan part is so fucking good.
Yeah.
A little off topic from our normal podcast, but I got Shenmue 3 for a friend. This is brand new sealed from the factory.
Wow.
I was like, holy crap. And then we have Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PS4, but I didn't get my hands on this.
Ooh, the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then we have Trails of from Zero. Trials from Zero. It's actually a pretty good like JRPG series. And then to complete my Trials of Cold Steel 3. I have the whole collection now. Yay!
Nice. Yeah, it's a great store if you're in the Des Moines area.
It's such a good store.
All right.
Glad there's no one close to me.
We should probably call it here because, oh my God, do I gotta pee? Yeah. Holy shit, I gotta go to the bathroom.
We've been recording for 50 minutes.
We really have been.
One.
I will say the first 8 minutes probably won't be in anything. So it'll be about a 40, right on average of our time. Our next film is going to be Knives Out from Rian Johnson, starring one Daniel Craig as a Kentucky, like really over-the-top Kentucky accent detective, along with Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, and a number of other great actors. I think Jamie Lee Curtis is in that too, and a bunch of others. One of my favorite whodunits of all time. And I think Joey and Chris, have you seen it?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Joey has not seen it. So that plot is going to be a little shorter than this one because it's a whodunit. We don't want to spoil it in case you hadn't seen it or anybody randomly stumbles across the movie.
It was the butler.
Indeed. It's a hard, whodunits are hard things to summarize without giving away the game.
Yeah.
Because the game is the reason you watch them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be our next episode. In roughly 2 weeks' time from when you're seeing this, I'll be uploading this while I'm in the Chicago area. on vacation, seeing Chris for the first time. It's since 2019. I think that's
Has
right.
it been that long?
RTX
Holy
2019
crap.
would have been the last time you or I were in the same room. That was the D&D, like, crazy, like, we did everything in the Airbnb there, along with our friends, the J-Bros, who are pretty much always watching the movies with us as we do our watch parties, and then doing some other stuff. So that's the plan for that, and then we'll probably do a ranking show, I think, of go through this season's episodes, either separately or in the Knives Out recording, depending on if we want to separate them. And then we'll tinker with some things and come back for season 3 after that, which I think sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So if you like us talking about our physical media collections and shooting the shit about really good movies, or in some cases not great movies like Kingpin,
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Can I reference that IGN ranked Kingpin a fucking
wow.
8 out of 10?
IGN can absolutely go jump off a cliff. They gave
What the
Kingpin an 8,
fuck?
and then this is again. It's from a 90s
I
from the
know.
90s review.
Wait, what did...
Jesus
Hold
Christ!
on.
IGN
what the
gave
fuck?
it an 8.
What
I'm like,
the fuck?
Who did it?
They also gave F1 a 7. They gave F1 a 7. The fuck?
What?
I want to say it was a 7. I could be wrong completely.
Dude, you know what's crazy? They gave
I'm being so
Kingpin
mad.
an 8. You know what they gave The Godfather? An 8.
How are they the same?
Like, come on, that's supposed to be lower for The
It's
Godfather.
fucking insane.
Jeez.
It's fucking insane. Anyway, they'd probably give Galaxy Quest a 6. Ugh. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom. We'll be back in 2 weeks talking about Knives Out and driving Joey nuts with other like random shit about The Godfather. See ya.
Bye, everywhere.